back with a Mr. Nightmare video for you guys today. This one is called 3 Scary True Night Shift Horror Stories. So, haven't seen a Mr. Nightmare video in a minute. I saw it today. The day that I'm recording this, he uploaded like 2 videos within like 2 minutes of each other, and I was like, damn, okay. I see a Mr. Nightmare getting those videos out, the grind. That's good. But I have night shift tonight. It's currently 3:40. Let me just start this. Starting. So this is 3 Scary True Night Shift Horror Stories by Mr. Nightmare, and I do have 3 night shifts upcoming. April 4th this was released. Okay. Yeah, it's 3:40. I start at 6:30. So I start in about 2 hours and 50 minutes, and yeah, it'll be the night shift. So I'm not gonna watch this, thank you. Yep, that's nice. That's nice. That's nice. So it'll be about 16 minutes without this stupid ad. But yeah, I have 3 night shifts coming up, so let's hope that it's not too scary, I guess. But usually night shifts are pretty fine. I've done like probably hundreds of night shifts by now, so it's fine.
I regrettably used to work at a hotel in our town. Our town had gotten hit by a hurricane a few months back, and a lot of houses were badly damaged, so a lot of people vacated the place. The hotel is about a 20-minute walk from my house. The town and hotel name I'll leave out of this, as I really just don't want anything traced back to me. The hotel was a very standard bed and breakfast type place. You know, where they serve wet scrambled eggs, frozen sausages, and assorted cereals. The hotel had a busy month after the hurricane, as some people were out of their houses due to damages. But after a while, things quieted down. If anything, quieter than before the hurricane. I always worked nights, from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. Then someone would relieve me at 2 a.m. and they'd work till 10 or 11 a.m.
I want your guys' opinion on this. So when people say night shift, what do you guys think of night shift? Do you guys think of night shift as overnight? Or like when you start the shift, that's basically what I consider. If you're starting at 6 p.m., that's evening shift. That's not night shift. That's 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. is not a night shift. It's an evening shift. Like you're working like 2 hours of the night. Like after midnight, you know, midnight. Well, I guess it is called midnight. So it's like the middle of the night, but the middle of the night is like 3 in the morning for me. So anyways, for me it's like if you start at 7 a.m. and then you end at 3 p.m., that's not an afternoon shift, that's a day shift. It's a morning shift. If you're working 3 p.m. to 11 p.m., that's an afternoon shift. 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., that's a night shift. So I don't like when people say, I'm working 6 to 2. That's a night shift. That's not a night shift, sis. You're starting when people are having dinner, and that's a night shift? That's not a night shift. Thank you. Anyways, go on.
I could always
Like 2 a.m. to 10, 2 a.m. to 10 a.m., that's a night shift, 100%.
see how many people were checked into the hotel, and at the time it was only maybe 9 rooms, which wasn't a lot at all. I could go the whole night sometimes without seeing anyone. There was a back break room for employees with a coffee machine, fridge, table, and a couple sofa-type chairs. The employee bathroom was also back here. At night, I spent most of my time back here. There was a bell at the front desk that people would ring if they needed anything. I was in the back when I heard a deep voice from the lobby saying hello repeatedly. I got up and went through the door leading to behind the counter and saw a man on the other side of the glass. There was a glass barrier with an opening underneath about 10 inches high. He said he needed towels. I grabbed him a couple extra towels and slid them under the glass for him. He grabbed them rather aggressively, shot me this weird look, then walked to the room's hallway.
Fuck you too, bitch. Like,
Stayed in the lobby now, sitting in the rolling chair by the monitors, and I just watched that man on the camera walk down the hallway. He was looking around weirdly. Then he started rubbing the towels on his face. I said out loud, what in the world? Then he got in the elevator. So I went back to the break room. It was maybe 10 minutes later when I heard a voice again from the lobby. It was the same voice. I walked back out, and that man was standing on the other side again. He said very loudly, my key card is broken. I asked what his room number was. He said it was something random, like 2C, something with a letter in it. Our hotel room strictly had numbers, no letters, so I knew this man was lying. I told him, "Sir, our rooms don't have letters. Are you sure you're staying here?" His reaction was not something I was expecting, nor was it something I wish I ever had to be victim to. He threw the towels on the floor, started smiling, slightly tilting his head as he got closer to the glass. When his face was practically pressed up on the glass, he said, "I'm going to kill you," still with a smile on his face.
Oh my god. Fuck, that's terrifying, bro. Oh my god. I'm going to kill you now. No, you're not.
Then he said it again, louder, and again. Each time he said it, it got louder until it was almost a scream. I screamed back at him, "I'm calling the police." And I did. I picked up the phone and showed him as I dialed 911. He kept his disturbing smile as he now started mocking me, calling the police. As I spoke to the dispatcher on the phone, explaining very loudly what was happening in front of my face, the sick man laughed and headed for the door in a slow walk. I told the dispatcher he was leaving, and when he was gone through the doors and out of sight, I said he was gone. She asked me if I still wanted an officer to show up, and I said, "No, it's all right." So the next couple hours of my shift went slow.
I feel like that's kind of what you have to do a lot of the time is like when police receive calls, I feel like you kind of have to threaten them. Oh yeah, I'm going to call the police. They don't believe you until you do it. Then once you do it, then they start walking away. So it's like, it's annoying that you have to waste the police officer's time, even just like the dispatcher, because it's not an emergency. Like, I mean, someone did just threaten you saying they're gonna kill you and you have no idea who they are. 2C, which there are no letters in here. The fuck you talking about 2C, right? So it's like, I don't know. I'd be fucking terrified though. Like I can't. I'm in security, so I've been threatened. Like I'm gonna knock you out, things like that. But like never, I'm gonna kill you now. Well, all right then. But yeah, it sucks that a lot of the time people kind of go away. Like it's good that they go away after you call the police, but it's like, why can't you go away before I call the police? Like why even waste their time, bro?
I decided, for obvious reasons, to hang around in the lobby now instead of the break room. There was one guest who checked in during this time. At around 2 a.m., my relief came. I clocked out and was free to go home. I walked outside to the parking lot. It was cold out. I remember wishing I brought my coat. I walked with my hands in the pockets of my light jacket and my hood up.
You're gonna walk at 2
I
a.m.?
heard a voice in the parking lot. I turned around. There was a line of bushes that covered the first floor windows of the hotel. It came from the
Gee, I wonder who that could be.
bushes. I don't know what the voice said. I didn't care. I walked faster now. Once I got out of the parking lot, I was on a main road for a brief minute, but there were no cars on the road in this quiet town at this hour. After a minute, I turned left down a residential street that would eventually turn onto my block. It was dead silent out. Not even the sound of any distant traffic. Just the sound of my shoes hitting the pavement. And then the sound of someone else's shoes hitting the pavement behind me. Only it was the sound of someone running, as if on their tiptoes, trying to be quiet. By the time I turned around, they stopped. There was a car right behind me, and I almost knew that there was someone hiding behind it. I heard laughing, and then a familiar voice saying quietly, "I'm going to kill you, bitch." Without even seeing him, I knew it was that man. I looked around, planning out my next move. I couldn't outrun a man, let alone wearing my work shoes. I looked at the nearest house. It had an upstairs light on. Someone was awake. I would go run and ring the doorbell for help. I looked back at the car, and I saw him. That man, peeking his eyes out from behind the car as he inched around it to the front. When he got to the hood, the rest of his face and upper body were exposed, and I could see his disgusting, crazy smile again. I ran for the house, screaming, "Help me." I made it to the front door and rang the bell at least 3 times.
You don't have a cell phone? Just hide in someone's backyard or something and call the police or something. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, don't just... If you're near your house, I wouldn't even say go home because then he knows where you live. And even if he knows the neighborhood, at least he doesn't know where you live, right? But if you say you enter your house, then you're kind of fucked, bro. Then you gotta move, basically. Unless the guy goes to jail. But I would not trust it. Because then, like, what if he gets released? And then, again, once he's out, I'm gonna kill you, bitch. That's crazy, bro.
And that's when the man grabbed me and started choking me, whispering in my ear, "Die, bitch." In that moment, I thought my life was flashing before my eyes. And then an angel in the form of a man opened the front door to the house and screamed "hey" at the man choking me. The man's grip was released from my neck and I fell to the floor. I never turned to watch the man run away. but the man from the house helped me up and brought me inside.
Bro, you are lucky that this person answered the door. Because again, I'm not gonna answer the door. It's after 2 a.m. and again, someone yelling help, that could be a trap. So if someone's yelling help at 2 in the morning outside my front door, I want to open the door, but I also don't, because that could easily be a setup. Anybody could just say help, help, you open the door, then you're freaking dead or you're robbed. So no thank you. You're lucky that the guy answered the door and saved your life.
He gave me water and called the police for me, and I explained the whole story to the police. They collected the CCTV footage of the man from the hotel and put feelers out to track him. I was called into the police station when they did a lineup of people who looked similar to the man on the CCTV footage, and I was asked to point out which man I thought was him. I looked at all 5 of them for like 5 minutes, and I ultimately said it wasn't any of them. I don't know if the pressure and nerves got to me, but in the moment, I truly didn't recognize him to be in that lineup. I hope to this day I didn't make a mistake and let that man roam free.
A bit of a fucking recap. That was fucking terrifying though, bro. Like, you're just literally working, chilling. Someone threatens to kill you. You call the police. They leave. You can't see them no more. Yeah, but they could be waiting outside for you, bro. I would not even feel safe leaving at that time. I'd be like, Dad, can you pick me up? Mom, can you pick me up? Or if I have a car, run to my fucking car and boot the fuck out of there and never come back. Because I'm not going back there. Nope.
I work in the pro department of a home improvement company. I work the closing shift with another cashier, who I'll call Nicole. Nicole's a really kind but quite timid cashier. She's also very pretty, so she has a lot of contractors hit on her. It's usually not that worrisome, though. A few compliments, maybe a dinner invite, which she'd politely decline. I would probably ask her out as well, if it wasn't for one detail. Nicole does have a girlfriend, so being hit on by guys on a daily basis makes her rather uncomfortable. When we first met, I told her she ought to tell those guys about being gay, but she kept saying it wasn't any of their business, so
That's
she
true.
kept that part to herself. Nicole has become my best friend, and
I feel like that is a really good way to get someone off your back, though. Like, even if you're lying, oh, I'm gay, sorry, I don't like guys, you know what I mean? I mean, I never have to worry about that because no girls come up to me saying, oh yeah, you're cute, want a date? So I never even have to say, oh, I'm gay, because girls don't ever approach me ever, so I don't have to worry about that, but yeah.
having another cashier there with you keeps things from getting lonely. We even cover for each other's lunch breaks. One day when I came back from lunch, Nicole started telling me about this rather creepy guy who was flirting with her. She said she politely turned him down, saying she was with someone already, and while he didn't seem happy, he did leave. I shrugged it off as nothing more than the usual horny guy and laughed it off. But later that day, the man came back. Nicole wasn't there, as she had left to help a customer find some lumber, so it was just me. He looked rather normal, probably handsome to most women, but he acted off. After looking around the area, I asked him if I could help him with anything. I'm here to see Nicole, he told me. I asked him how he knew her, and he said he had come in earlier and asked her out, to which she said yes, so he had come back in to pick her up. I told him she had left for the day, a usual lie everyone tells to cover for their friends. His smile went away as he started looking annoyed. He said he wanted to speak to Nicole and ask her out again, which contradicted what he had just told me about accepting his previous invite.
Yeah.
I told him he could not do that, which caused him to cross his arms and ask me why not. I'm not the best liar when it comes to making up excuses on the spot. However, I didn't want to tell him Nicole was gay if she didn't want him to know it, so I just blurted out that Nicole was my fiancée. His annoyed look went to confusion as he asked me how someone as pretty as she is could go out with someone like me.
Oh, dang, he just roasted you. He just roasted the fuck out of you, bro, damn. I mean, not gonna lie, now you gotta square up at this point.
I'm not a Jason Momoa or anything, but I don't think I'm that bad looking. I told him it didn't matter and that her and I were getting married in a couple months,
Damn.
so he needed to back off. He gave me a death look, but didn't say anything. After an awkward silence, he left. After Nicole...
Pausing one more time. I feel like he kind of like, not set himself up, but in a sense, he kind of dragged himself into the situation and kind of made him a target, and now what if Nicole comes back from helping that customer? Then he's gonna be like, oh, and now you're lying to me, now like Nicole's right there. I mean, it's annoying though, because like, yeah, like I go to stores too, like where my friends work, and I'm like, you probably can't answer this question, but is this person here, is this person here, is this person here? And they're like, I remember one time I went to McDonald's to see my friend, my best friend, which obviously the coworkers didn't know me or anything at that time yet, because I guess like we were still fairly new best friends. So I didn't really know his coworkers or know their faces or anything at that time. So when I went, I was like, hey, is this person here? And they're like, no, sorry. And I was like, I know he's here, bitch. Like, don't even fuck with me right now. So I basically just sit at a table, basically like I watched, and I was probably the horror story at that moment, because I was literally like looking at the like at the front desk, like the cat, because it was McDonald's, right? So they're at the desk, the cashiers, whatever. I'm kind of sitting like here, but then kind of sitting over here, but then it was kind of more in that direction. So it was kind of like on an angle. And then, like every little bit, I'm just kind of like, I'm on my phone, like messaging my friend, and then I'm kind of like, and then the girl at the front is just like staring at me, all concerned. Oh god, good times. Anyways, I didn't do anything wrong. Obviously, I was just looking for my fucking friend. But obviously, that's the thing though. It's like if you don't know your friend's coworkers, then it's like they can't. I know one of my friend's coworkers. She would know that. Oh yeah, like their best friends. Yeah, here's this person. But normally they say no as obviously a safety thing, because again, anybody could say, oh yeah, like I'm here for this person. It's like, who the fuck are you? Like, are you here to jump this person? Are you here to kill this person? Are you here for bad intentions, sort of thing?
Cole had gotten back. I told her what went down. She asked me to describe him, and after I told her what he looked like, she said that was the same guy who came in before. She was a bit creeped out by what went down, but she found the fiancé excuse rather funny. She even stated she'd rather be engaged to me than go out with him, which I'm guessing was a compliment. A couple of weeks went by, and we had all but forgotten about the man at this point. But one night, after it had gotten dark, Nicole and I were getting the trash together so we could close down the registers and go home. Just then, we hear a bang at the door, causing both of us to nearly jump out of our skins. It was the guy again. He had a wild look in his eyes as he kept his face pressed against the glass. We're closed, I tell him. But he insists he needs to come in.
No.
Nicole yells again to tell him she's not interested, and for him to go away and leave her alone. But he yells that he's not here for her. He's here for me. He then says that if he can, quote-unquote, take out her husband, then she'd be all his.
Oh my god. See what I mean? That's what I mean when you got yourself into this situation. So yes, good thinking on the spot, but now at the same time you brought yourself into this situation, and like you said, this guy's crazy. So it's like now you've literally put yourself in a dangerous situation. So it's like, good job for covering your friend. You're good. You're good, but it's like you kind of fucked up at the same time.
Based on that, he wanted to kill me. I tell Nicole to run to the manager's office and call the police, and I'll stay here and watch him. I won't lie though, I was pretty afraid to be in that tiny little area if the guy's able to get in. He wasn't the biggest guy, but he could have had a weapon on him. Plus, the store doesn't allow us to have self-defense items on us, so I was on my own here.
Great.
The guy then started ramming the sliding doors like he was crazy. The doors were rattling. I could have sworn we're going to come off its base. Just then, Nicole comes running back around the corner with a 2x4 in her hand, yelling that the cops are on their way. Finally, the man decided to leave. The closing manager met the officers when they came, and he took them to review the cameras. Thankfully, the man was caught and arrested, but Nicole nor I felt safe working there any longer. We're still friends and even attend the same college together, but we do have separate jobs now while we pay our way through classes. I'm glad she was there to help me with the rogue man, as I hate to imagine what he might have done to me, or worse, what he might have done to her. She says she's glad I was there for her as well, as having a guy around tends to make men like him less confident in what they might try. It was a wake-up call for me as to how dangerous it can be for some girls when an interested guy just doesn't want to take no for an answer.
That's true. That is true. I get being pushy, I get having a crush, I get being persistent, but like you don't push the persistence past a certain point. Go, please, can you do me, please? Like that's more so persistence and desperation, which I think that's kind of me. But you know what I mean? It's like you don't beg and like you don't go to their work and try to like literally kill the person out there with. Like, I don't understand how some people think that way. Okay, so if I kill this person, then they're all mine. Like, no, bitch, you're a fucking murderer. Why the fuck would I want you? Even if my fiance was gone, why the fuck would I want you? Like, you just killed this person. You killed my fiance, and I want to be fiancés? No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good, sir. I'm good. Thank you for the offer, though, but ghost tea. Ghost tea.
So this happened a little over 2 years ago now. and I wanted to share it somewhere just to look back on it one day and never forget the lesson I learned.
I forgot this was called Night Shift Horror Stories. At first I was thinking like warehouse horror stories. What time was it at though? Like I don't know what time that was all at though. It was obviously after closing hours, so maybe like 9, 10, 11 p.m.
It was 2016, and I had just started a new job at a motel. It was low pay, but I needed an office job. One of my friends, Michael, got me this job. For a few days, I did training with the owner in the mornings. For 2 nights, Michael trained me. Our job was the 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. shift. Nothing exciting, checking guests in and doing paperwork. My boss, or the owner, went away with his wife on vacation for a week, which is attributed to the swift training I had to endure. So it was my first night alone on the night shift. There was a monitor with security cameras around the motel's
First night
property.
alone. Fantastic.
Large glass windows all around the office building with a glass door. There was no night window like most motels have. It was fairly early in the night, at about 1 a.m. I was just doing my normal check-in paperwork. That's when a man walks in and asks if we have any rooms available. Usually if someone's sketchy, my boss has me lie and say no, but he seemed normal at the moment. Without hesitation, I said, yes, of course, just for one? And he replies, yes. So I begin creating the reservation on the computer when I notice he starts swatting the air and making spitting noises, as if he's being surrounded by flies. I try to ignore it. As far as I'm concerned, it wasn't my business. So I try to check him into the room as quickly as possible. I give him his key and he's on his way. At this point in time, I could be described as very timid. I had a lot going on in my personal life. So I hope you can all understand my reaction to what happens next.
I've heard the word timid several times, but I actually do not know what that means. So 1 second, guys. Timid, meaning. Lacking in self-assurance, courage, or bravery, easily alarmed, timorous, shy. Okay, so... Okay. Just kind of like lacking in some things, shy, alarmed, okay.
The man comes back from his room and slams his hand on the glass door, causing me to jump. Absolutely frightened, I look up to see him just staring at me. He cracks the door and puts his head through and says, I can't get into my room. Why won't you let me into my room? And my only defense is trying to be helpful. So I replied, maybe there's something wrong with your key. Let me give you another one. The look he had in his eyes was inexplainable. I felt like I was in absolute danger. I handed him his new key, and he went back to his room. I tried texting Michael because he's the one who trained me, though it was in the middle of the night and he was asleep. I needed some guidance. With no reply from Michael, I noticed the man trudging down the stairs to come back. I go into absolute panic mode. I run into the back office and lock the door, and I pull out my pocket knife. It's important to keep protection when working at night. I hear the man in the office yelling, hello, hello, why won't you let me into my room? Do you not like me? Me being an absolute idiot and not standing my ground and just calling the police when I'm feeling scared, I decided to take the situation on alone. I reply, I'm just on the phone, I'll be right out. I then start calling Michael over and over for help. No answer. I decided to take a few breaths and then step out of the office. The man was not there. He was in the bathroom. I start hearing him talking to himself, angrily saying, kill her, kill her. My heart sank.
Fuck, bro.
Still being an idiot and not calling the police. He comes out and I say, your key was broken, I'm sorry. Let me escort you to your room. He agrees, thankfully. I was wearing a long-sleeved sweater, so with my arms down, I was able to hide my knife in my hand while holding it. I begin to walk outside, and he seemed insistent to walk behind me. We begin making our way to the staircase and up towards his room.
No.
I was sweating from how nervous I was, continuously looking behind me to make sure he wasn't going to make a move. He stops at a room, and I stop at his room a few doors down. I smile and say, oh, that's the wrong room. This is your room, as he clearly said on the door. This whole time he was going to someone else's room and trying to open the door. After letting him into his room, I quickly ran back to the office and locked the door, and I found out there was a lone woman staying in the other room he was trying to get into. The next guest I checked in was a police officer from a few towns over. I felt bad for confiding in him about the guy, but he seemed willing to keep an eye and ear out. The next night, the man came back, but I had the doors locked and told him we're all booked up. I explained to my boss what happened when he got back from vacation. However, he didn't take it very seriously. I continued to work there on the night shift for the next year, where many other strange encounters have happened, but this was one of the worst.
I just don't get some people how they just want to like threaten you, how they just want to say kill her, kill her. Like that definitely could be like more so mental illness. I don't think that's someone just say, you know what, kill her, kill her. But at the same time, like you've really got to be careful, bro. I would say next time you work in a place with cameras and someone says they're going to kill you, maybe let that officer show up. Probably. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, do you still want them to come? I was going to say yes. I don't know if you guys heard me, but I was like, yeah. And then she said, no, that's okay. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'm not Jason Momoa, but I don't think I'm that bad. Why in the hell would you decline an officer showing up for an incident like that, if not for yourself, just so they can potentially find the guy before you mess up with someone else? Exactly. Get a photo of the guy at least, check your surveillance camera, show the police, things like that. Like, just be more smart. Like, show the police officer, tell him what he looks like, just give a description or something, bro. Come on now. Dude works in a hardware store with chainsaws, crowbars, etc. Instead of weren't allowed self-defense items, bro, take your pick. I love the idea that they declined an officer's presence after some psycho-looking dudes started shouting that they were going to kill you. Like, zero survival instincts. Yeah, come on now. Like, you shouldn't just say no, an officer's person. You should, like, yes, show up, please. At least make me feel a little bit safe. Come on. Plus, at least if the guy saw the officer come, maybe he would have, like, stopped. Maybe he would have stopped right there. There was a crazy man here threatening to kill me, but he just left. Do you still want us to send an officer? No, I'm good. Yes, you say yes. Then it's clearly insane and dangerous. What if you walked out the door? Have the police search the premises. Exactly. I don't know how people can be so stupid sometimes. I couldn't run fast because of my work shoes. Excuse me, you're about to be murdered. If I were in that person's situation, I'm taking them shoes off and booking it. That's true. My personal credo was to not wear anything I can't flee in. I'm loving these comments so far. They're all basically grilling that first griller guy. There will never be a video that you make that I won't watch. I've tried to other scary story channels and they're never the same. I love you, bro. You're my favorite. Honestly, same. Yeah, the girl in the first story is stupid. You are never inconveniencing an officer by asking them to come to the property you feel unsafe at. It's their job, and their presence may deter the individual. Exactly. Stay safe. I'm not or anything bad. I'm dead. Go Nicole. I love how she has a whole store full of. Nah, 2x4 is better. If you guys enjoy this video, please be sure to give it a like. I really hope that you guys haven't ever I hope that you guys never had to experience anything like that, or never do. Because again, that's terrifying. No one should have to deal with anything like that. As soon as author one said they declined a police officer show up, I wanted to reach the screen and throttle them. Never reject such an offer when a situation like that happens. Police may have their issues, but having one at least show up to look around would have potentially scared the guy off. Exactly. I don't know how girls can be so, not just girls, but anybody can be just stupid. But that girl in particular was stupid as fuck. But yeah, I really hope that you guys never had to encounter anything like that. Again, I'm having a few night shifts. I'm having 3 night shifts to start tonight. 12 hours. Typically, I'm just in the office, so I'm fine. In the office of a closed building, so I'm fine. I mean, now that I say I'm fine, I'm probably not going to be fine, but we'll see what happens. I'll be fine. I've worked a lot of night shifts by now. I'll be fine. Plus, I have other guards with me, so I'm good. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to give it a like. Comment down below what you guys thought of this video. Be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Deuces. Peace.